Maailmankylässä radio. Pysy kuulolla.
The next program is called The Power of Storytelling in the Creation of the Future of a True Global Citizen. And it is organized by Bridge 47. And my name is Anna Cadia. Bridge 47, Building Global Citizenship, is a project which mobilizes the civil society all around the world to do their part for global justice and eradication of poverty with the help of global citizenship education. Bridge 47 brings people working with global citizenship education together to learn from each other and to advocate for better policies. Bridge 47 introduces global citizenship education to new audiences and seeks to find new partners and explores innovative ways of working. But what is global citizenship education? Global citizenship education inspires people to do more for each other and for our planet. With the help of global citizenship education, we can learn to live by values that make a difference. Global citizenship education encourages us to reflect upon our assumptions, make informed decisions, and demand policies that create more fair and equal world. It encourages us to be more active citizens. Now you all will have the chance to familiarize yourself with storytelling as a method to conduct global citizenship education. Storytelling is the act and art of using words or symbols to create vivid, multisensory images and characters to convey a reality of previous experiences for the learning and entertainment of an audience. The power of storytelling reenacts the past, entertains and educates the present. The influence of stories and narratives makes us reflect on our assumptions and make knowledgeable choices, live by such values, and thereby creates a change in an intriguing and stimulative way. Now we will hear a story, and the story is told by Bolanle Simeon-Fayomi, who is a professional storyteller and a professor from Nigeria. The story is a folktale of a princess who sacrifices her son to save the future of the Yoruba people. Let yourself be carried away by the story.
I am Bola. I am from Nigeria and I'm a storyteller. I want to tell you a story from a faraway land, somewhere you have never been to before. I don't know, maybe you could have been here, but this is in Africa, a faraway land in Africa, a land known as a lave, a place where everyone believes that humans race started from. I'm going to tell you a story about a woman of courage, a story of someone who gave all so that everything in our nation, in our land, could return to normal. I'm telling you the story about Moremi Ajasoro, Moremi, the mother of Ileife. In my country, in my land, the Yoruba land, if you want to start a story, you start by saying, hello. And the response is, hello. So maybe we start from there, the very beginning of this story. Hello. Hello. Moremi was born a princess, and she married into the royal family of Oduduwa. she became very popular within the kingdom. Her beauty was unparalleled. When men look at her, they fall into the stream. When women look at her, they don't understand how a woman could be this beautiful. That is Moremi for you. And do you know that her land was troubled by enemies from the neighboring towns? They don't know who they are because they were all masqueraded and because they were wearing all sorts of things every time they came. It was assumed that they were strange spirits. And if they are strange spirits, how do you fight strange spirits? How do you fight spirits you don't know where they come from? And this was a major problem in the whole land. And after many attacks, she went herself as a queen of Oduduwa to go and ask from Esimeri, the river goddess, about how to conquer these people. Esimeri told her she would need to make a sacrifice and request that she find help to discover the problem of her people. So, after a long wait, another time came and the people who were always attacking them came again. They were all masqueraded and they don't know who they are. They look like spirits being. But this time around, she allowed herself to be carried into slavery along with them. Yes, she went into slavery. This brave woman followed them, and when they got to the land, this land she discovered later is called the Igbo land. Because of her beauty, she was also married to the king of the land. And those people she discovered later that they were not spirits, but they were humans, covering themselves with all sorts of things to come and take all their food and all their people and all their sons and all their daughters. When she now learned their secret, and being a queen of the land, she saw all of their secrets. Nothing was hidden from her. After a while, she escaped back to her people. And when she got back to her people, she told them everything that she had seen. She told them, they are not spirits. They are humans like us. When next they come, we will set their regalia on fire. And we would expose them. And we will be able to defeat them. Her people took courage from her courage. And they listened to her. And so the next time those people came to them, they set them on fire. Fire everywhere. And all of their enemies ran back into the forest. And our warriors and ourselves ran after them. And they conquered them. You would have thought that would be the end of the story. But that was not the end of the story. Did you remember she went to Esimeri to go and request for power to overcome them? And so, after the victory, she went back to Esimeri River. And the goddess told her, your sacrifice is not complete. She said, what more to give? After all, I have brought cows, and I have brought goats, and I have brought everything that you requested of me. Said, no, your sacrifice is not perfect until you give your only son. Her only son, Oluorobo, was requested from her as a sacrifice. First, to set her people free forever for their collective future and existence. Also, to cleanse the land. This was too much for her. Everybody thought she would not give this sacrifice, but she again thought in herself, if Esimeri had not helped us, if Esimere have not helped us, even me and my son will have been conquered and would have become slaves in this strange land. There is nothing as big as my people. If my victory will be sealed forever, and my people will be safe forever, and for the future of my land, and for the future of my people, then I will give this sacrifice. And so she gave her sacrifice of her only son. This is the story of Moremi. Today, all over the Yoruba land, Moremi is known as the mother of the land. Moremi Ajasoro, so we call her. She is not only powerful, we also know her, not as a god, but everybody loves her. In fact, even in modern day in Africa, in modern day Nigeria, you will find many, many buildings and many, many places that is named after her. Her monuments are everywhere that the Yoruba race have found. Her race has kept her. Her people are alive. She has given all that she could have given so that we have a future. Individual sacrifices are the ultimate need for a global future. And this is the story of Moremi Ajasoro. Today, in the face of our common enemy, we salute the courage of those that are at the front line of battle, giving everything, their household, themselves, so that we would have a future. I also salute everyone at home who have taken courage and are doing all they can to see that our future is secured. Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to the discussion part of this program. We will have a chance to hear more from the story we just heard, and of course we hear more from our guest Bolanle Simeon-Fayomi. But let's start with the story that we just heard. It was a story of a princess who sacrifices her son in order to save the future of the Yoruba people. It's a very well-known story. It's a folktale among the Yoruba of the southwest Nigeria. And Bola, thank you very much for sharing the story with us today. Why did you choose this particular story to be shared with us?
The story of Moremi was initially conceived as suitable and maybe very apt for the festival. The village, the World Village Festival that was supposed to hold there in Finland. So the theme was future. And so we'll look at what popular story could be used within this context. And we said that, okay, now let's look at Moremi Ajasoro, which is a story of the Yoruba people, and it is from the southwest Nigeria. And the story is about, it portrays sacrifice. It portrays sacrifice of the individual for the collective future of everyone. Sacrifice in our time relates to doing more than normal, giving much more than we would have given, so that is the theme of sacrifice for us, not giving our children or anything, but rather doing more than we could have done in any circumstance, maybe as a worker in our workplace, giving more, as parents, doing more, and then, so that wherever we are able to do and achieve a higher return for a better world. So that's the reason why we choose the story of Moremi Ajasoro.
Just to get a little more information of Moremi Ajasoro, she is very famous. You can see her not almost in every street corner, but there are statues and places named after her in Nigeria.
Yes. In my university, for instance, the female hall, the biggest female hall, is named after her. We call it the Moremi Hall. Also, if you go into the township, which is just some road out from here, you'll also find the Moremi Shrine. You'll find her also in the palace. You'll find her statue almost everywhere, you know. So in Unilag also, we have another hall that is named after her, another female hall named after her. And in several places in the world where you find the Yoruba civilization, you'll find them always talking about Moremi Ajasoro. Yes, she's a very popular person within our culture.
Bola, what is the power of storytelling? Why do we humans have been telling stories since the dawn of time?
Stories are containers. They are containers of residual knowledge. Stories have the past in it, it has the present in it, and it is taking us into the future. And because of this, we use the power of imagination. The power of imagination is probably one of the strongest that humans have when it comes to what we cannot see and is part of our energy. We as human beings, we influence the things around us by what we can imagine, by what we think. For instance, making the airplane started from the imagination of some people. They look at the birds and they said, we can also fly. Let us see what to do. And so they started from that place of imagination. They started constructing, and today we're all flying. So storytelling uses the power of imagination. We try to draw out what is negative, and then we bring it in, and then we try to look at what is positive that can fight the negative. And this is why we believe that storytelling is one of the most powerful tools of teaching that we can use, you know, in our modern time, just as it has been used in the older times.
How do you see, Bola, the storytelling as a part of global citizenship education, and why is it important?
The global citizenship education is an education that is about sustainable future. We are very interested in sustainable future. That is not just any type of future, but a future where people will be more enlightened, where people would have more time for themselves and for others around them. And one of the other things we believe in the global citizenship education is that we want to help people to understand the complexity of this world that we're in, and to inspire them to act for a better future. This is one thing that we had always had in our thought within the global education and global citizenship education system. And now when we talk about what part would storytelling, you know, taking this, storytelling itself is about people. It's about people, it evolves around existence. It's about our being here on earth. And because it's an age-long practice, we use it as a motivator We use storytelling to motivate people to do what they need to do. And many times we talk about heroism, we talk about positive attitude towards communality, which is very important for us, that we're able to make the world just one single community, that all of us come together to make the world better. So the influence of stories and narratives reflects on our assumptions many times. And once we are able to tell stories to change assumptions, then we'll be doing a better work towards having a better future. And this is one good way that we have been using storytelling as part of global citizenship education.
Bola, you talked about understanding the complexity of life and of the future, and at the moment we are living very complex times. How could storytelling help us in facing global challenges now in 2020, in May, mid-May that we are living at the moment?
The COVID-19 is a multi-dimensional problem. For us here is a huge problem. And I was talking with colleagues recently from the Europe, and they also said to me that there is no way any part of the world will be spared from what has happened to us. Now, apart from the global spread of this disease, we also see that its attack and its effect is on everyone, both the high and the low, and this kind of make it an equal problem. You know, it brings us all into equality, and nobody is spared. And because of this, we tell stories to say that, look, we have had this before, this problem. You know, we tell stories of the past plagues, of the way our ancestors defeated it. We defeated the plagues when it came the other time, and now we also tell the stories of when the famine was here, when the war came, when we had the storms, when we had sicknesses, when we had, you know, all sorts of things, and yet, you know, we overcome. So we can tell the past stories of recessions. We tell the stories, you know, of the times where of uncertainty. We don't know what could happen tomorrow, but we are unwavering in the face of it all, because we know that we had stories of the past where these have been before, and we won. And so we tell stories, and as we navigate all of these times, we keep telling stories until we win over this virus. We win for our time, and then we will then again tell stories of our time in years to come, and tell it to all our children, to our grandchildren, that once upon a time, there was a time where we had a plague all over the land. It was not just here in our land, it was in all the lands of the world. And do you know what? We fought. We fought. The frontliners were there, the nurses, the doctors, they do all they could do. People were still pressing on, even though it was a difficult time. And we won. And the stories will be told very moments, very soon. We would start to reshaping our future according to the stories we'll be telling. So this, I believe, is part of us now, to tell stories, you know, especially to encourage ourselves, to inspire ourselves, to say to ourselves, yes, it is a bad time, but we had it before. It has happened before, and we won. And we are sure as humanity, we are winning again. So for me, and for other storytellers, and for everybody who will be writing stories, we know that we're going to be telling stories very soon of how we overcame COVID-19. Yes.
Thank you, Bola. Thank you. I think this is the perfect ending for this interview and discussion. And all the listeners and viewers, thank you for being here with us today, and stay safe, everybody.
Maailmakylässä radio. Pysy kuulolla.